Welcome to The Checkout. We catch up with previous Add to Cart guests and ask them 5 quick questions to get to know them better and leave you with a little extra inspiration to get you through your Friday.
Today's checkout features Andy Evans, co-founder of humii, Humii. Humii combined cutting-edge technology with real-world human analysis to evaluate a retailer's customer experience and provide actionable insights. With around 200 retailers already on board, including Rebel Sport, Lovisa and The Iconic, humii take the mystery out of nailing an amazing customer experience with over 150 metrics.
Andy, welcome to The Checkout. We've heard all about what you're building at humii in the main episode, but we're here to learn a little bit more about you. 5 quick questions. Number 1, what's the weirdest thing that you've ever bought online?
Yeah, look, weirdest thing, I've got an old 1987 Viscount caravan at home, and I bought an awning actually for that was kind of a very specific awning for vintage caravans, 15 feet long. Actually got shipped down from up your way, somewhere around Brizzy.
Yeah, right.
Down to me on the south coast about 12 months ago. I've never had anything that big shipped before in transit. It arrived damaged. I had to ship it back.
Oh, no.
I had to ship another one out. It was, people were looking at me like, what the hell has this guy bought? Big piece of PVC pipe to ship down.
Did you take it down to Australia Post and ship it back?
Yeah, I wish. It'd be awesome.
What is it with vintage caravan? Is that a hobby?
It was a sort of a COVID purchase renovation job for my wife and I think kept us entertained.
How good. You had to sleep in the caravan, didn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I slept on it in the street a couple of times actually when we first got
it. All right, number 2. Who is your favourite retailer?
Yeah, my favourite retailer is a bit of an obscure one. So I live on the south coast of New South Wales. There's a business down here called Goldberg Brew Machine, and they do home delivery growlers of beer. They offer a service where they brew their own beer. They'll drop a growler off at your house, and then the next time you put your empty growler out in the street. So it's kind of like a milk run, but for home delivered beer. They kicked that off in COVID, and it was just the greatest. Lockdown period, having fresh beer rock up to your house on a Friday afternoon was awesome. So they're still my favourite retailer. I think it's an awesome service, and I hope others are doing that in other parts of the country as well.
That's amazing. Better than milk. All right, number 3. Which e-commerce practice do you wish was history?
NPS for sure. Look, I could talk at length about it forever, but I think we all know that it's time for a change. NPS, I think it's something the quicker that everybody can disconnect themselves and reattach to the reality that NPS is adding very little value, the better for everyone.
Yeah, we had a good chat about that in the main episode. So feel free to go back and check out the NPS versus humii score back there. Number 4, can you recommend a book or a podcast that our listeners should immediately get into?
There's a book which I was talking about with a friend just last week. It's a few years old now. I went and found my copy underneath the house last week and I started reading again, called Short Stories of Your Life and Others by a chap named Ted Chang. A lot of sort of blockbuster movies of the last few years have been made based on those stories. One called The Arrival. You might know there's another one, Limitless, with that, what's his name, with the beautiful eyes. But yeah, short, nuggety sort of stories, 20, 30 pages, and it's just unbelievable. A lot of mind-blowing concepts in there, I think. I'm a little bit of a sci-fi nerd. It's not crazy sci-fi, but it's got some sci-fi angles on it, but really interesting book.
Cool. Not on my list. I will put it on there. Thank you. All right, last one I have for you. Finish this sentence. The future of retail is?
The future of retail is a melting pot of innovation. I think it's just going to be a really crazy, and a mind-blowing sort of ride for the next few years just to see what comes out. We're already seeing so many interesting things and new startups and new ideas coming out of the Australian market and all over the world. I just think it's only going to get more and more over time as, more competition enters the market, as e-commerce continues to just boom. I think it's just going to be a really, really interesting space to be in over the next few years. So, yeah.
Agree with you wholeheartedly. Andy, thank you so much for joining us on The Checkout.
No worries. Thanks a lot, Nathan. Much appreciated.
To hear more from Andy, jump back over to episode 214, where Andy shares the challenges of wrangling their team of mystery shoppers, how they advise their clients on where to take action first, and why he thinks MPS is dead. Very controversial. Long live the humii score. Thanks for listening, and until next time, keep adding to cart.